It's a great day. My name is Che Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue focused late night show in the country where we are on a mission. And our mission really is to empower. Our mission is to inspire, and our mission really is to provide you, that's right, you, the hard-working entrepreneur, with all of the resources that are necessary to execute that big vision you have for the people you were called to serve. And on this episode, we have the one and only Ola. She's in the building, and she'll be talking about pushing through limiting beliefs. That'd be interesting. What's going on, Ola? How you doing?
I'm doing good, Shay. How you doing? Good to see you.
It's good to see you too. And now oftentimes I get a chance to meet people in person and then get a chance to see them like this. So this is amazing. And thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for welcoming us into your homes right now. Maybe you're cooking dinner and we're sitting on your iPad and you're listening to us in the background. Maybe you're at the gym right now and you're listening to the podcast and we're in your ears. Thank you so much. Or maybe you're walking the dog right now. Whatever you are, thank you for letting us be in your home. Ola, before we get started, I know the first question got to be on everyone's mind, at least it's on mine, is why are people struggling these days to push through their limiting beliefs? I mean, let's be honest, they got AI. You can go to AI today, type in, help me get by my limiting beliefs. And it'll say, here are 20 reasons why you should get by your limiting beliefs. Yet people are still struggling and not happy. Why?
Um, Limiting beliefs are one of those things that are so sneaky. A lot of them, a lot of us have them, but because they're so sneaky, I tell people you have to sometimes excavate it because it's so familiar. It's so ingrained in us from a childhood sometimes, from our culture, from the experiences that we have. And what it does is it becomes so familiar that number one, what I've found is a lot of people don't even know they have them because they're so familiar. The second thing is when you do realize that you have a limiting belief, there's this love and hate thing with limiting beliefs that I have found personally in working with people, that it's almost scary for them to go out of the belief. It's a scary thing to believe different from what you've trained your mind to be so comfortable with, to be so familiar with. And the other side, if you don't have anybody to help you, most people would just stay where it's comfortable. And I think that's why people just cling on to those limiting beliefs. I come from a culture where we have so many limiting beliefs that we just thought they were normal. Even in our religion, in church, you think that, oh, okay, that's just how we're supposed to believe. And then the more you travel and meet other people, you find out that those beliefs that you do have, oh, gee, is that really real? Is that supposed to be it? And it's something
Yeah.
that really keeps you from reaching your destiny and reaching the
And it's,
things that you can possibly do. Yes.
no, you're spot on. Sorry to interrupt you as you was talking.
No,
I
no,
could hear the
no.
passion coming out. There might be someone saying, okay, that makes sense, Shay, but I'm not sure. Can you have us give the definition of what is a limiting belief? And then can you give some examples, because they're hearing you and she's spot on. She's saying, we've been giving them, we don't know what they are. They're sneaky, leaky. And they're like, well, I don't even know what they are. So we can all be on the same page.
Hmm.
Definition, please, of limiting beliefs. So what's your definition? And then number two, can you give us some examples of some beliefs that people have that are limiting them from being successful so we can all be on the same page?
The first one is my definition for limiting beliefs is a belief that is not really serving you. And actually, I call it a belief that's actually harming you, but that you're so clinged onto. That's my definition of it. It's a belief that is limiting you from either moving forward, looking at a perspective that's not really healthy or useful for you. It is just limiting your total capacity, your 360. So it keeps you in a place of it keeps you bound in some sort. That's what I define as limiting beliefs. Now, there are several limiting beliefs. It could be a simple limiting belief on money. We have these mindsets where our mind is set in a certain way about money. Um, I had one that, if you have money, you'll lose your friends. Wealthy people are not nice people. Growing up, it's like you don't, in our faith, I'm a Christian, it's like you don't want to have too much money because money is the root of all evil. And subconsciously, you start absorbing that if I have too much money, or false humility, you're doing great things, you don't want to make noise because you have to be humble. There's so many around that. Other limiting beliefs could just be your belief about yourself. Examples about yourself is if you shine too much. I'm into illumination. If you shine too much, you may lose your friends. Or if they're very sneaky. I like to deal with the really sneaky, smooth ones. Because when we talk about the big ones, most people are like, oh, I don't believe in that. That's not me. But I think all of us have them. I think we all have them, and we constantly have to keep on working on them and digging and asking ourselves, is this fact or fiction? Is this something that is limiting me? Is this really real? And how is it serving me forward?
You know, you're famous all over the world, but there's some folks that are listening saying, "Shit, I've never met this person in my life." I mean, I like what she's saying. It sounds good, but who is the person that's talking to me? What's her backstory so I can kind of understand? Now, others of you, you've already Googled her. I get it. Some of you are already on her social media pages right now. I mean, she has a unique name, so it's not hard to find her. But many of you, you're like, Jay, have her slow down for a moment, and hopefully she'll do this. And here's the question. Number one, tell us a little about your backstory so we know who you are. And number two, what was that defining moment in your life where you said, you know what? I was born to help people break through any limiting beliefs they have.
Okay. My name is Olu Adetutu again. I came to the United States when I was 17 years old. And I always knew I was going to study in the United States because my dad always told us that America was where you had the opportunity and you had to taste, a piece of America in your lifetime. So I came here when I was 17 and I got married, went to college, got married, had the kids and did all those things. And I went into corporate. And while I was in corporate America, I was one of those driven, visionary people, career, 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 because that was one of the beliefs that I had, that was the way to success. You have to just go through the channel. There was always a channel for us as I'm Nigerian that we have to follow. You go to school, graduate, and get married, have kids, and so on. And then you have a wonderful life, happily ever after. And I was in that path. And then one day my body gave out at work. And I had a pulmonary embolism and I escaped death, really. At the hospital, I had this out-of-body experience, an encounter with God, really, where I found myself on top of a mountain and I was radiating. And I looked on each side of the mountain and I saw all these people. And as my light hit them, they started moving. Now, prior to that, I had had this restlessness because I actually knew that the career, which was in IT that I had, was not where I was supposed to be functioning. It wasn't where I was my best. I wasn't shining in that spot. And, scripture says for me, I always kept that, we're not given a light. Everybody has a light, but you have to recognize what light you have. And I knew I wasn't shining my life in the right position. That was not a good positioning for me with my light. And it was during that time when I found myself on that mountain, radiating, illuminating. That's where I got the word illumination. That's what my brand is all about. That I realized that on that mountain, that was a representation of who I was really supposed to be. It's a representation of what I was supposed to be doing, not just for myself, because we often think that our greater self is just for us. More money, more toys. But it's really about fulfillment and who God wants you to be to other people. I went through a really dark time, including losing my son, losing, just a lot of challenges. And what I have realized is that, to bring us home on this, is that when things are happening like that, both our successes and our challenges, it is for us to become more seasoned, like you're cooking and you're seasoning it. It's for us to be more seasoned, but more importantly, to impact other people so we're able to help them through those situations so they can get out of it quicker and make better decisions more frequently. And that's what I do. That's what caused me to start doing this. I left IT and I just started my company. And I went training, did a lot of behavioral sciences certifications and classes, and just really I was curious, this vision, how can I use it and become really great at it so that I could help other people so that they can find their illuminated self on top of their own mountaintops. And that was the genesis of the work I do.
Wow, I love it. I love what you said. And now folks saying, Shay, I need this. We're not going to leave you hanging. Don't worry. I'm going to ask Ola if she'll give you maybe 1, 2, or 3 ideas that you could do to break through your limiting belief, to get you back on track so you can be successful. Ola, I guess you heard me talking to them, so I'm talking to you at the same time, right? It's kind of like, hey, will you slow down and we take, hey, for the person's leaning forward, what's step 1, step 2, and step 3, and if it's not in order, that they can do to kind of elevate and get beyond the limiting belief. And when you're beyond the limiting belief, what's on the other side, ladies and gentlemen? You get to live the life you deserve. A life of fulfillment and joy. Isn't that so amazing? So Ola is that big breakthrough. All right, go ahead and take it away. What's 3 things that they can do?
The first thing they can do, I have a framework that I'll share with them. Quick 3-step framework.
Oh, cool. Do that, please.
So it's almost like you were cheating. You knew about my framework. No, you didn't. But yeah, it's called OLU, my name. It's an abbreviation, OLU. The first one is to own. That's what the O is from. And own for me in my work is for you to actually be honest with yourself and own where you're at, who you are, and who you want to be. Own all the good and the bad. Take ownership of it and take responsibility for your life. I think the first part there in terms of pushing through these beliefs is just saying, you know what, these beliefs haven't carried me so far. They haven't taken me where I need to be or where I want to be. So what can I do? A lot of people are really closed in, talking about pushing through. They're closed in, and it takes a readiness and openness. So the first one is to own your thoughts and beliefs and know that there is something that you can do and own your journey. The second one is to leverage. Leverage all the things that you do know. Leverage all the lessons that you have. Leverage all of the, even the beliefs that you have. You can take those beliefs, chew on it, examine them, and then you can now make decisions as to how that is serving you and serving your purpose. And the last one is to unleash the you in it. And unleashing is where the sweet spot is. You've owned it, you've realized what it is, you've examined it. Now, what do you want to do with all that? And there are 3 questions that you'll ask yourself at the time. Who are you? Who are you? What do you want? And how do you get it? Now, how do you get it is tied to those limiting beliefs. You have to take those beliefs and say to yourself that this is the ultimate. And these are the steps that I have to take myself through. And then when you see a belief that shows up for you, you have to be open enough and ready enough to actually attack it. I say you attack it, because if you don't attack it, it'll attack you. That's where we have self-sabotaging coming up. If you see yourself self-sabotaging yourself, if you see yourself playing small, you need to be asking those questions. What is behind it? So it's a query situation. You start querying it. I even call it investigating. You start investigating it. Where did that trigger come from? Where did that thought come from? And you could start working on that. Some people can do it on their own to a certain level. And then, like I said earlier on, some are very sneaky. And you need somebody on the outside who can catch your blind spots to help you identify them. But it's a good place to start.
Wow. I love it, by the way. I love the transparency. And I love it's something that we could take away as action items. Thank you so much for sharing. And as you were speaking, by the way, it led me to a segment we have here. And I think it's a good transition. A segment called Today is My January 1st. Now, for those folks who tune in every night at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you know what we're about to do. You might even wait for this magical moment every single day. And you can go ahead and say those magical words right now. Today is my January 1st. Happy New Year to you. And for all the rest of the folks who are watching for the very first time, welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show. Family, today is my January 1st, is our personal mantra. It represents a fresh start. It represents a do-over. It means our past, no matter how dark and gloomy that past is, or really how bright and sunny that past is. You know what? The past no longer equals the future. Isn't that amazing? And so my question for Ola on the other side is really two parts. Number one, when you hear those words, today is my January 1st. What do you hear? What do you hear? And number two, what was a setback you had in your life? Another one, a challenge that you had to push through.
The first one. Today is January 1st. What I hear is laser focus. No distractions, laser focus. Tune down the noise. Stay focused on the mission, on the vision, on the work. That's what I hear. There's a lot of noise out there. To answer the second part of it, the challenge that I feel that I can share in this short time is my not listening to myself and my inner gut and going with the flow. And it ended with me in that job that I told you guys about. It ended in straining my relationship, my marriage. It took away time. And for me, that was the most costly thing. I lost my home. I lost time. Time is like, I keep saying time. I lost time. And, and that's why this work that I'm doing is so critical for me and so personal, because I can identify it, particularly in high achieving women. I can identify having challenges and not being able to talk about it, having these feelings and not feeling like you're under so much pressure to conform, to be perfect, to appear that everything is going great, and not being able to express them, and then having those results. So that is how I would leave that. It's important to have somewhere to go to talk to someone. It's important to have someone who understands your journey to be able to take you out of that space and push you, help you to get beyond those beliefs that you have so you can climb back up and get on path and redirect towards what it is God has assigned you to and the path you're supposed to go and your destiny. Yeah.
Says so well, by the way. I love how you're so authentic, how you're so transparent. As you were talking, I'm curious, what do you enjoy most about what you're doing these days? I mean, it seems to be something that's in your heart. I like the Illuminator. It seems to be something that you want to do. So what do you enjoy most about it?
The transformation. Number one, watching people get an aha moment, watching somebody who comes to you in total brokenness and watch them step by step, following steps, walking alongside them and watching them come out winning, more healthy, more money, better relationships, peace of mind. It is the most fulfilling feeling of the work I do. Giving them clarity, not even giving, you don't give people clarity. Let me rephrase that. Helping them come to a place of clarity so that they are making better decisions for themselves. It is the most satisfying thing. And I feel like it is a gift that keeps giving. And I feel so not lucky, so blessed that I'm able to impact people's lives at critical times. All of us have been through critical times and difficult times. And when you have somebody who can help you and you watch them come out winning, it is the most fulfilling thing. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. I feel
good, man. I love it.
grateful.
That's truly incredible. It was good to know is that on the other side that you truly can live the life that you deserve. At the end of the day, you can have everything you've always wanted to have. You know, when I get a chance to ask a question, one of my favorite questions to ask, and we have a few minutes now, is what's one of the best pieces of advice you've ever been given? And I like to frame it for the audience so they're kind of clear that we're not asking you to come up with some magical portion out the sky, by the way. But we're curious. You've had a lot of mentors along this journey of life. You've had an opportunity to have a lot of advanced training along here. You've probably read more books you can remember these days. Countless videos these days. And with videos now, it's almost like hours and hours and hours of videos. 10,000 is not even fair anymore. So my question to you is, what's one of the best pieces of advice you've ever been given that you would share to the audience that could help them?
That question just brings me back to my father. He was a very wise man. And he often and always told me that I have a call on my life, and that no matter how far away from it I go, I should always find my way back to it. And that is where I will find my success. So for each time that life has happened, I have always found my way back to that path because I've always known that there was a call on my life. So it was almost like my own lighthouse that I could always find to bring me back to course. That's how I would answer that.
That's really incredible, man. Your dad, I like the dad story. The first time I heard it when you was on a stage, by the way, and I got a chance to hear what your dad had told you. I was like, man, it's just spot on. It still stuck with me to this day. It wasn't what you just said, but it still stuck to me to just this day. What does success look like for you these days? I mean, you talk about pushing through limits. You're talking about, coming back from setbacks and being on the other side. But when you look at your life, where you are now, what does success look like, and what does it feel like for you?
Success to me feels like peace of mind. It feels like being able to sleep at night, knowing that I have served. Success for me is knowing that the work I do is helping somebody somewhere at some time. Money is sweet. Don't get me wrong. I love it. Money is real sweet. But money without fulfillment for me, success is being fulfilled in the work that I'm doing and the peace of mind that I'm getting while doing the work. I love it. That's success for me. And then the money comes. The money is the sweet part.
What do you do for fun these days? We're not out saving the world, making a difference for other folks, helping them get what they want out of life. What do you do for fun these days?
I love to travel. I love to travel.
What's
And
one
I've
of,
traveled
what's
quite
one
a
of your
bit.
favorite places to travel?
Ah, now at this time in my life, I made a decision that I was going to go to a lot of different places. I'm not going to repeat countries a lot.
Oh, wow. That's
Yeah,
cool.
I was
Well,
in,
what's on the list of countries to go to? We're all nosy. I mean, you can't say you like to travel, and everybody want to. Well, what's one of the countries on her little dartboard? Just curious.
I want to explore Africa. I'm from
Okay.
Nigeria and I didn't travel a lot within Africa. I mean, I've been to Morocco and a couple of Ghana and so many places, but I would like to explore Kenya, Egypt. There are a lot of countries I haven't been to, and I want to explore a lot of Africa because I mean, there are a lot of people may not know, and some people may know, but Africa is a humongous continent. And there's so many places to go in the continent of Africa. I've done a lot of travel in the Western world, and I want to focus now on Africa. I went to Marrakesh in Morocco this year, and it was just so amazing to see the history and just learn about a different part of the world. So yeah, I think this coming year, as work allows me, I'm going to focus on African nations.
That is so cool, by the way. As we come down the home stretch, two-part question. Number one, How can
Yeah.
folks, what type of clients are you looking to work with these days? That's number one. What type of clients are you looking to work with? And number two, how can folks best connect with you? How can they stay in this conversation over and beyond the time we have now? What website should they go to? How should they connect with you?
I'll start with the last question. You can go to my website, oluadetutu.com, and you can find out what we're up to. Where that's a starting point. I'm active on social media, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and that's another way to connect with me and engage in conversations that we have. I post a lot of great content in there, and it's a place for you to find out who I am and what are some of the things we talk about. Who I work with, I work both on the corporate side and also on the secular side. I do a lot of retreats. I love doing retreats. I work primarily with women with a focus on women, but I've been getting a lot of requests for work with men. You know, they're like, why are you excluding us? So I've been creating some work, some programs for the men too. So yeah, I like to work with women who have visionary, they're driven women, young or old, it doesn't matter. But if you have a vision and you're driven and you're having challenges, I'm the person you need to call. You don't have anybody you feel understands your journey. Those are the kind of things, situations that I work in, helping you gain clarity, resilience through those challenges so you come out winning. And the other part, women who just have these goals that they want to meet. I've been through that journey, and I can help them work through it and get to it. Yeah.
Work through it. I love it, by the way. I love what you're doing. So tell me one more time.
Corporate clients. Sorry, Shay. My corporate clients, I do wellness workshops. Where we do mindset and so on. Yes.
That's amazing. Well, let me say thank you so much for being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. We appreciate it. Can't wait to see you again in person. And I can't wait to share some good times with you. Okay?
Yes. Thank you so much for having me, Shay. Love your show.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you to viewers. Thank you for tuning in, by the way, because without you, we don't have a show, by the way. We really don't. So we appreciate you letting us stream into your home, be a part of your evening or your morning or whenever you're watching right now, because it could be any time of the day. We appreciate you. And I never get tired of reminding you every night at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time that you really are someone that's incredible on the inside. You've got this unbelievable talent. If no one's told you that, and it's not like I'm trying to give you some fluffy stuff. I want you to know that you're really special. You're going to do something amazing in the world. And then no matter what's going on in your life, by the way, whether you're doing really well and there's that next gear you're getting to, or you've been hit with the punch you never saw coming. One thing I do know is that today is your January 1st. And because of just that one reason, I believe your best is still yet to come. Your best is yet to come. Your best is yet to come. With that being said, my name hasn't changed. It's still Che Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. Can talk to you next time. Peace. All right, Ola, see you later. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
We out.